Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Whoop, whoop. There we go. Welcome, everybody, to Xfinity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall, and you're here with the Xtreme Xfinity Series, fueled by Goat Locker Racing, presented by Original Rebels Racing League. Again, my name is Josh Hall. Thanks for joining us here on Intensity Broadcasting, bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage of this iRacing event here at one of my favorite tracks of all time, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This is a track that's not too far from me. Takes me about 2 hours to get there, and I've seen quite a few races up here at New Hampshire. And I'll tell you what, the Magic Mile puts on some great racing. It races a bit like a short track. It's long, 1 mile long track. It's flat, it's fast, and it's a lot of fun to drive. So taking a look to see who's out on track right now. We see the 05, sorry, not the 05, the 5 of Andy Kurtz, last year's Outlaw champion. As we got about a minute and a half left here in practice, let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Michael Kosick up at the top of the board. Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert, Garrett Kinder, and Daniel Cunningham make up your top 5. Patrick Drabick, Charles Stevens. Then you got Cody, Charles Phelps, and Jake Ellenson up in the top 10. And that is Cody Mickelwain. I will not be saying that wrong anymore after talking to him last week and getting the right pronunciation of Mickelwain. Looks like we got about 33 seconds left here in practice. Again, we want to thank you all for coming out and joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to like, follow, and subscribe, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. We do have the chat open, so if you want to root along your favorite driver, let us know how we're doing. You can do that there. You can also let us know by hitting that like button if you're enjoying our broadcast here, as we do broadcast iRacing 7 nights a week here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out the Original Rebels website at ORRleague.com. That's ORRleague.com. You can find the link to the website in the description below. Also in that description, you can find our web store at IntensityBroadcasting.com, where you can find hats, t-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, coffee mugs, stickers of Intensity Broadcasting and all your favorite leagues here on Intensity, so you're not going to want to miss that. Check that out, IntensityBroadcasting.com, as we got our first driver out on track, and that is the 54 Daniel Cunningham. New Hampshire is a bit of a tricky track for some people. You can see the 2 different colors of pavement. And the fastest way around the track is really just to have your right sides up in that darker pavement, because there's a little bit of grip up there. Some people like to run the way bottom. Some people like to run a little bit higher up, but kind of right there where you see the 54 running is the preferred line around the track. You can kind of cut it down. You see him diamond in the corner a little bit. You can do that here. And you can get some speed doing that as well. I know myself, I found myself even running the apron on this track in the truck series. I haven't done it in the Xfinity series, but I know I've done it in the truck series, and it's definitely one way to get around the track, and it works. So you never know what these guys are going to run. Apologize, my watch decided it wanted to talk to me. Up at the top of the board currently, though, is the 06 of Cody Mickelwain. So Mickelwain up to the top of the board. Andy Kurtz and Jonah Colbert run your top 3, as we see Daniel Cunningham coming across to take the checker flag here off of turn number 4. And Cunningham is going to move up into the 2nd position. Josh Oswald just finishing up his 2nd lap here. Short track driver. This track is going to be right in his wheelhouse, has a short track kind of feel. as he comes across the line, he's going to move up. Actually, he's going to stay right where he's at in the 7th position. Garrett Kinder taking the green flag, a fan favorite. I'm sure Kevin, Ratchet, and the crew are going to be tuning in to root on Garrett here as we see him coming off of turn number 2, running a little different line than we've seen anybody run here tonight. Really, really loose. Try to drive this like a dirt track as he makes his way off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Kinder really using that diamond to try to get his car to rotate through the corner. Back down through turns 3 and 4. Really loose with that car. Really getting that thing out of shape to slide it and get it sideways to get it turned. And on qualifying, when you only have to do that for 2 laps, you can definitely make that work. And Kinder's currently going to be up into the 3rd position. Another one of our fan favorites, the 75 Pegleg Feltz out on track, just taking the white flag, moves up to the 11th position on his first lap. So Pegleg makes his way down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. See where Chuck ends up here after his lap, and he's going to move up into the 9th position. See, Charles Stevens Jr. just took the white flag on his lap. Looks like that's going to be it for him. Oh, no, he's going to be back on it. It sounded like he was cutting the engine off there, but he's going to keep going. And the 88's going to slide up into the 14th position. Still have 4 drivers left to qualify. It'll be Mike Pertosa Jr., Patrick Trebick, Matt Knights, and Eddie Smith. So we got about, actually qualifying is over. So let's get a look at your starting grid. And your starting grid is brought to you by Magic Mike Motorsports. And the Peg Leg Pole award goes to Jamie Mullins tonight, with Cody McIlwain to the outside of row number 1. Row 2, starting in 3rd, will be the 13 of Garrett Kinder, and Jonah Colbert in the 31, starting to his outside of row 2. Row 3, Adam Lang and Michael Kosick, followed by the 54 of Daniel Cunningham and Andy Kurtz, rounding out in spot number 8. 9th will be Pegleg Feltz with Travis Bieber rolling off in the 10th position. 11th will be the 17 of Josh Oswald with Brandon Wallace in the 99, rolling off in 12th. Greg Barnett in the 38, he'll be rolling off in 13th with Charles Stevens Jr. in that 14th position. Jason Lottridge in the 48, he'll be rolling off 15th with Eddie Smith rolling off back in 16th. Then Patrick Trebick and Matt Knights will be rolling off 17th and 18th, and Mike Pertosa Jr. rounds out the field in the 19th position. So, bit of a small field here tonight, but definitely not going to be small on excitement, that's for sure. As we're just waiting for, it looks like McIlwain and Pertosa Jr. to grid up here. drivers get set here. For 115 laps at the Magic Mile. And the strip of granite at the start-finish line really shows the meaning of the New Hampshire being the granite state. The track here does have a bit of an abrasive surface as well, so we'll see tires really come into play here tonight as these drivers navigate this tricky 1 mile speedway. And you see a little bit of rubber there on the bottom of the track. This track actually has a very nice road course layout as well. You can see the crossover gate as the drivers are passing by that right now. And that gate can come into play too. If you get too close to the wall here, that gate can actually jump out and bite you. So you want to make sure you keep aware of that. But as we get ready, Jay Mullins leads them down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at New Hampshire, and a great jump for McElwain as he jumps out to an early lead over Jamie Mullins as they work their way through turns 1 and 2 for the first time. And Garrett Kinder wasting no time, already looking underneath Mullins to try to take away that second position as they rocket down the backstretch for the first time. Very wide corners and straightaways here, so we'll see these guys really fan out. Kinder wasting no time, jumping all the way down to the bottom on the fresh tires, trying to move himself forward. He's going to try to take that position away, but Mullins is going to be too strong there on that outside, and now Mullins is going to jump to the low side to try to protect as Kinder's going to go all the way up to the wall. A little further back, we already see the 04 of Michael Kosick making some moves, and Adam Lang as well, and here comes Daniel Cunningham looking under Andy Kurtz, and we see the 114 of Travis Bieber try to make it 3 wide for a second. They're back to 2 wide as they make their way off of turn number 4. It's already some movement and racing up front as we see Jonah Colbert already coming up into the picture. So the top 4 are currently under a blanket as we see multiple different lines around this tricky New Hampshire speedway. Garrett Kinder looking down to the inside of Jamie Mullins, trying to take that position away and take the lead away at the same time. He's trying to get a 2 for 1 as they come off of turn number 4. Able to get by Jamie Mullins. Now he's going to try to get around McElwain. McElwain running a little bit defensive line, but Garrett Kinder able to get to the gas so much harder off the corner there, side by side for the lead, and Garrett Kinder up to the lead. Here comes Mullins now, trying to get around McElwain as well. And McElwain able to hold back on that high side. Oh, almost some contact between these two drivers as they make their way down the backstretch. While these drivers continue to battle, it's allowing Garrett Kinder to pull away as Mullins finally clears McElwain to move our pole sitter back into the 3rd position. I'm sorry, Mullins was the pole sitter. That moves our outside pole sitter back to the 3rd position. And Jonah Colbert trying to take advantage of the momentum loss from the 06, trying to come up into the picture as well. A little further back in the pack, we got a little battle here between Adam Lang and Travis Bieber, as well as Daniel Cunningham in this mix as well. See some great side-by-side racing. And Eddie Smith already up into the 12th position as Alien Eddie is starting to slide his way through the field. We see points leader. Michael Kosick now looking underneath the 31 of Colbert, trying to take that position away, but Colbert able to get the power down on that outside. Now Cunningham going to look down underneath Kosick, try to take away that 5th position, and he will, coming off of turn number 2. Kosick now fights back hard on that high side. Cunningham down on that low side, trying to outbrake him into the flat corners. You can see just how flat this track really is. Not a lot of banking as we look off the nose of Travis Bieber. Not a lot of banking to hold these cars down. This track takes a great amount of throttle control to get around. It's really easy to actually throttle and brake control. It's really easy to lock up the back tires and get into a little bit of what we like to call wheel hop. You see the battle between Brandon Wallace and Adam Lang. And wheel hop is when you start to lock up the rear tire and the tire actually starts hopping across the track. And it's a really uncomfortable feeling. You can actually hear it in the drivetrain as the whole drivetrain is wobbling. And as a driver, it's not the best feeling in the world. It's hard to hold on to. Up front, Garrett Kinder continues to lead over Jamie Mullins, and then it's almost a 2-second gap back to 3rd place, Cody McElwain. These two drivers are pretty much riding along in their tire tracks. Mullins looks up to the high side. You don't realize how much speed these drivers are carrying here, as it does look like a pretty slow track, as Mullins now looks down to the inside of Kinder, but not able to get there. We can actually put up the telemetry here of Jamie Mullins as he looks down to the inside of Garrett Kinder to retake the lead away from the 13 machine. We're right along with Garrett Kinder. We'll put up the steering wheel there as well, so we can see just how much Kinder's turning right here. And you see that wheel pretty much straight around the corner, and now it's turning to the right. So Kinder trying to dirt track it around New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And we know that's how he likes to get it done. So again, about a 1.5 seconds back to Cody McElwain. And McElwain doesn't have too much pressure from behind, but he's got the 31 of Jonah Colbert behind him. And just behind Colbert, we see the points leader, the 04 of Michael Kosick. Let's take you through the field all the way, starting with our leader here, Jamie Mullins, up to the lead. Him and Garrett Kinder have been trying to go at it for the last few laps, but Mullins starting to pull away from Kinder a little bit. Kinder running back in the 2nd position, started 3rd, up 1 position, up into that 2nd position. Led a few laps, and now he's trying to get himself back up towards the front. Cody McElwain back in 3rd, down 1 position from where he started, with Jonah Colbert now starting to eat into his interval here, as Jonah is back in the 4th position, right where he started. Then you got Michael Kosick up 1 spot, up into the 5th position, our current points leader. just trying to feel it out this first run of the race, where Daniel Cunningham up one spot as well, up into the 6th position. Then Alien Eddie Smith up 9 spots, up into the 7th position, and continuing to march himself forward. And Travis Bieber in the 114, back in 8th. A little battle going on here for 9th and 10th between Adam Lang and Brandon Wallace, and Brandon Wallace is going to fall back to the 10th position as Adam Lang is going to take that 9th position away. And we'll find the 07 of Patrick Drabick back in the 11th position. Up 6 spots from where he started, so another driver starting to march his way through the field. Josh Oswald in the 17th, back in 12th. Andy Kurtz down 5 spots from where he started, falling back to the 13th position. And just doesn't look comfortable in his car. You see him running way up high, almost up near the wall. And that's definitely not the way you want to be on this track. Then Greg Burnett in the 38 machine, back in the 14th position. We'll find Peg Leg Phelps back in 15th. Losing 6 spots since the drop of the green flag, but one caution could change everything for him there. Jason Lottridge in the 48. He's running back in the 16th position. Then we'll find Charles Stevens Jr. back in 17th. Matt Knights runs back in the 18th position in the PD-powered machine. And then Mike Barossa Jr. Is completely off track. Doesn't look like he's... looks like he made about 2 laps and called it quits. So, fortunately for him, no points going to be gained for him, as we see Eddie Smith looking back underneath the 54, trying to take away that 6th position from Daniel Cunningham. How smooth Eddie is getting back to the throttle. But that's just how you have to drive this track. You have to make sure to drive this track almost like there's an egg under your foot. And that's exactly what Eddie is doing here to get himself around Daniel Cunningham and up into the 6th position. Up front, Garrett Kinder is starting to lose a little bit of ground to Jamie Mullins. Even though last lap by, they did run almost identical times. Jamie Mullins ran a 68, where Garrett Kinder ran a 67. And now, it's like Garrett Kinder tried cooling off his tires a little bit, because now he's making a run back at Mullins. At that time by, Kinder was 0.2 faster than Mullins, so Kinder working on trying to get himself back up into the front here. Oh, you hear the big lift. That's going to allow Kinder to get down to the inside. Going to take that position back away, so move Garrett Kinder back up into the front. Here at New Hampshire, that's all it takes, is just that little bit of a slip up. Now Kinder running that much higher line than we seen him run earlier in the race, and starting to work for him a little bit here as he's starting to pull away from Jamie Mullins. So it sounds like Mullins just is not able to get back to the throttle like he was earlier in the run. We'll ride along with him and we'll hear the... Ooh, that time Kinder gets released off of turn number 2. It's really easy to do. Again, off of turn 2, there's a really big bump. There's almost an elevation change as you come off of turn number 2. It makes it really challenging to get the throttle down. We'll ride along here again with Mullins, and we'll see if we can see that little bump here coming off of turn number 2. It's right there, and you can see just how upsetting to the car it can really be. It's not something you normally see on TV or you can even see sitting outside the car, but when you're in the car, man, you can really feel that bump. Got a little battle back here as Alien Eddie's moved himself around Michael Kosick up into the 5th position. Now Daniel Cunningham trying to take away the 6th position from Kosick. So Kosick's car is starting to fall off just a little bit here as the laps go on, as we're almost working at lap number 30. I do imagine within the next 10 or 15 laps, we should see these drivers making their way down on the pit road for fuel and tires. As right now, these drivers are crying for tires, just not able to get the power down like they were able to earlier in the run. Here, how long it took Cunningham to get back to the throttle after he got around Kosick here. And you can really hear the hesitation getting back to the throttle as well. Gives you a really good idea of what these drivers are fighting. Speaking of fighting, we got a little fight shaping up here. Eddie already up to the back bumper of Jonah Colbert, trying to take away that 4th position. And it looks like Eddie Smith might be the only driver that still has grip left in those tires, as he's continuing to put down some fast laps and continuing to march himself up towards the front. See just how much these drivers are sliding these cars around the track here. Is Eddie now looking back underneath Jonah Colbert, and he's going to take that 4th position away, so move Eddie Smith up 12 spots up into the 4th position. And Eddie Smith did not take an EOL because he had to. Looks like he just wanted to start towards the back of the pack and drive himself through the field. He's doing a good job of that right now. We see a little battle shaping up here between Travis Bieber and Patrick Drabick. As Drabick is showing a little bit of speed here in the later runnings of the race. Another driver making his way back up towards the front is Chuck Pegleg Phelps, just outside the top 10 in the 11th position, as he's battling side by side with Andy Kurtz. And Chuck's going to take that position away. Drabick got around the 114 of Travis Bieber. And up front, Garrett Kinder continues to lead by over a half a second over Jamie Mullins. So pit stop should be coming into play pretty soon. As the drivers will need to take fuel and tires. And you can see just why they need to take tires, because they've already dropped off a second and a half, or almost 2.5 seconds from the lap times they were putting down when they first started the race. Garrett Kinder continues to almost dirt track this car around the track. Doing a good job of wheeling this thing. You see him almost turning right, getting into the corner. Especially in turn one. Turns, even though the track looks very symmetrical, these two turns drive completely different. See Kinder getting really loose into turn number one. But as he makes his way down the backstretch, it's almost uphill a little bit. So you're not carrying as much speed as you make your way into turn number three. You see just how much smoother he is on the steering wheel there. Not sawing on it quite as much as we saw him go into turn number one. See Eddie Smith now looking underneath Jamie Mullins, trying to take away that third position, as Mullins trying to take away second from McElwain. So a little three-car battle up here for second, third, and fourth. And some great battling here at New Hampshire. Eddie Smith is going to move himself up in the third around Jamie Mullins. And I think Eddie might be the only driver that might have something here for Garrett Kinder on these closing laps of this run. Eddie Smith starting to look down to the inside of McElwain. But just not able to get the power down on that low side just yet. Just behind him we see Jonah Colbert, Daniel Cunningham, and Jamie Mullins now all under a blanket here as they make their way off of turn number four. And Mullins pushes way up the track. He's going to allow both Colbert and Cunningham to drive right on by. So looks like Mullins is having a little bit of difficulties here. You can see just how much he's got that wheel cranked to the left. Which tells me that car is just not turning. He's really worn down that right front tire and just not able to get the throttle down to get himself rolling forward. So here comes the 04 Cossack up into the mix as well. McElwain and Eddie Smith now starting to run down Garrett Kinder just a little bit. The lead was over a second. Now it's down just under 3/4 of a second. As we look at the lap history here, and Kinder running just a little bit slower than the 06 of McElwain. McElwain's got to deal with the 87 of Eddie Smith right at his back bumper as well. So a bit of a three-car battle shaping up here. As again, I imagine pit stops should be happening pretty soon, as we already see our first takers on the pit road. Andy Kurtz has hit pit road. And for those of you just tuning in for the first time, when you see at the bottom of the screen the first three letters of the last name, when the pit is flashing pit, that means they're on their way to their pit stall. When it's solid red like you see now, that means they're in their pit stall. And when that changes to a time, that was the pit time that they spent in their pit stall. So a nice 14.2 second stop there for Kurtz. As now our leaders just getting up into a little bit of lap traffic, as we see Michael Kosick side by side with Jamie Mullins. And Jonah Colbert in a battle with Daniel Cunningham. I wish I had split screen right now so we can see all the battles on track. And while this is all going on, our leaders are getting their way through lap traffic. So traffic starting to come into play here in the later part of this first part of this stage, if you will, of the race. Eddie Smith still looking for a way around McElwain. Garrett Kinder coming up on the back bumper of Matt Knights. As Knights fights to stay on the lead lap, but has to give that position up to the leaders. And here's McElwain right there, trying to force a 3 wide to try to take the lead. Oh, Kinder hits the wall. Oh, comes down. McElwain has to avoid the very loose Garrett Kinder. That's going to allow Eddie Smith to come up into the mix as well. And we are 3 wide for the lead here at New Hampshire off of turn number 4. McElwain has the nose off Eddie Smith. Eddie's going to lead that lap. Garrett Kinder is going to fall all the way to 4th place. And wow, you never think you'd see 3 wide at New Hampshire, especially this part of the run. But that's exactly what we just saw, as we see some more battling here at the back of the pack, as we see Jonah Colbert getting around the lap car of Matt Knights. And here comes Michael Kosick and Patrick Drabick trying to get around his wall. And Drabick has a little bit of speed here. He's trying to get around Kosick. Brandon Wallace just left pit road. So now it's going to be a matter of when the rest of the field decides to come down pit road. So far, caution free. Giving the Kinder Farm and Ranch cows a rest. As now Daniel Cunningham showing some speed in the later parts of this run. Coming up to the back bumper of Garrett Kinder. Try to take that 3rd position away. Caution. Caution is out on the track. It is for the 99 of Brandon Wallace, who has fresh tires. That's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind, as we take a look to see what happened to Brandon Wallace here. Wallace is making his way down into turn number 1. Looks like he just lost it on entry. I was talking about wheel hop earlier in the race, and let's ride along with Wallace here to see if that's exactly what it was. Well, it's hard to say. It looks like he just looped around all by himself as we get ready for pit stops. And the whole field should be coming down onto pit lane for tires and fuel. I think the most beneficiary of this caution right here would be Garrett Kinder. As we saw, he was having a lot of problems keeping that car under speed here. See the lap cars staying out on track. So all these drivers come down to their pit stall. We'll watch for the race off pit road. Looks like Eddie Smith will be the first car off pit road, then McElwain, Garrett Kinder. Colbert beats Cunningham. Then Drabick looked like Cossack and Mullins. And Adam Lang beat Travis Bieber off of pit road. Peg Leg Feltz, then Josh Oswald. So Eddie Smith able to get off of pit road first. We see Matt Knight's Greg Barnett go on the pit road. We see Andy Kurtz staying out. Andy is currently the tail end of the lead lap. Brandon Wallace is one lap down, but these drivers are both going to take the wave around when the lights go off on the pace car, allowing them to catch back up to the tail end of the field, as both those drivers have pitted recently. Don't forget to check out the Intensity Broadcasting merch store at intensitybroadcasting.com, where you can find all your favorite hats, t-shirts, Pucker Moment, made famous by Matt Knights, PD Power T, Kick the Tires and Light the Fires, made famous by Alex Veith, as well as your favorite league collections as well. Original Rebels have t-shirts, stickers as well, so check that out. That's at intensitybroadcasting.com. Well, lights on the pace car are off. We're going to go back green flag racing. Eddie Smith is going to choose the inside, putting Garrett Kinder up on the outside. Jonah Colbert starting third. Oh, I take that back. These guys have the choose rule. So, see Jonah Colbert starting third, Daniel Cunningham fourth, Drabick and Mullins back in fifth and sixth. We saw the outside get the jump on the start. We'll have to see if Garrett Kinder is able to get a good start here on that high side as well as they make their way off of turn number 4. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Green flag is back in the air, and Eddie Smith with a great jump over Garrett Kinder. As you see the field make their way into turns 1 and 2. Already we see some drivers looking for position. Garrett Kinder washes way up the track. Jonah Colbert's going to take over that second position. Here comes Daniel Cunningham looking down to the inside of Garrett Kinder, trying to take over that third position. A little further back, we see Adam Lang side by side with Jamie Mullins. So that's a battle for 6th and 7th. And just like we see in real NASCAR, these drivers trying to get everything they can off the start, as we see Lang slap the wall off of turn number 2. That allows Mullins to get back down to the inside. Whoops. That's the view I wanted. Mullins finally gets around Adam Lang. Move Mullins up into the 6th position. And Patrick Drabick up into the 5th position, currently up 12 positions. But our biggest mover of the race is that 87 of Eddie Smith, as he is now pulling away from Jonah Colbert in the 2nd position. Garrett Kinder's fallen back into the 4th position, as Daniel Cunningham has been able to get by. Adam Lang now fighting on the high side with Michael Kosick, but Kosick able to move himself up into the 8th position. Now we see Drabick and Mullins. So Mullins is starting to eat into a little bit of the lead here, or the interval here of Drabick. And we know Mullins has speed. He was our pole sitter tonight, as he's making his way to the back bumper of the 07 of Drabick. Hear how long it takes for these drivers to get back to the throttle. I think Garrett Kinder is starting to run this stint a little differently than he ran the first stint. Not quite as sliding around the track like he did in the first stint. I think he burnt his tires off a little bit sooner than he thought he was going to. He might be in a little bit of conservation mode, trying to save those tires till the end of this run. As we haven't seen many cautions tonight, we've just seen the one caution. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this race go the rest of the way caution-free. As the 07 of Drabick now catching that 13 machine. We'll put up the speed and do apologize for that popping up. My time in scoring did just crash. So we got everything back up on the screen as it should be. And I've got the wrong logos on the screen, so bear with me just a moment while we get those fixed up for you. And I do apologize for the screen flickering. So we get everything set back up on our side here. Garrett Kinder now starting to pull away from Drabick just a little bit. There we go, got the right labels, the logos up there on the screen, and Now Drabik trying to come back on Garrett Kinder here as we work lap 70 of 115. So just a little past halfway to go. And Kinder looks like he's continuing to save his tires just a little bit. Really throughout the field, nobody really pressuring anybody right now. Well, tight battle back here between Michael Kosick and Travis Bieber as Kosick now looks down to the inside of the 114. We do have a little battle shaping up a little further back as Peg Leg Phelps is trying to move himself up into the top 10. Trying to get around the 17 of Josh Oswald to take over that 10th position. They're still side by side for the 10th position. It's a great battle on track right now. Pegleg still not able to quite clear the 17 of Oswald as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. It looks like he's finally going to get around that 17 machine to move himself up into the top 10. Been watching the lap times, and Daniel Cunningham starting to cut into the interval here between him and Jonah Colbert, excuse me. As we see Cunningham slowly starting to catch that 31 machine. Garrett Kinder a little further back. Still looks like he's saving his stuff just a little bit. Lap times haven't really changed too much. As this battle is continuing to heat up on track between Travis Bieber and Michael Kosick. Kosick starting to fall off of Bieber just a little bit. As I say that, he dives down hard underneath, but just not able to find his way around that 114. Travis looks to be a little bit stronger on this end of the track through turns 3 and 4, and he gets a good run down the front stretch. As they make their way into turns 1 and 2, Kosick is right back there trying to pound it underneath. As they're side by side yet again, but Bieber's able to get the power down on that high side, and now Kosick's in a position where he might be able to outbrake him here into turn number 3. As Bieber gets shoved way up the track, and Kosick is going to take that position away. So move Kosick up into the 7th position. Back up front, Eddie Smith has a 2.5 lead over Jonah Colbert, but Jonah Colbert's got a mirror full of the 54 of Daniel Cunningham. The other driver just started turning on the jets here. We see the 13 of Garrett Kinder starting to come back into the mix here. And right behind Kinder is the 07 of Drabik. So Kinder and Drabik here. I see Kinder starting to slide that thing around again. Same with Drabik, doing a little slide into the corner, trying to move themselves back up towards the front here. See if they can catch down at least Daniel and Jonah. Because at this point, it doesn't look like Eddie Smith will be fading anytime soon. Way back in the pack, we've got a little battle between Jason Lottridge and Greg Barnett. This is a battle for 14th and 15th as we see Barnett get down to the inside of Lottridge. He's going to take that position away. Just behind we see Brandon Wallace, but he is still currently one lap down. Another battle starting to heat up here. We see a little damage to the back of the 59. Might have got up into the wall just a little bit, but we see Pegleg starting to catch that 59 machine. So Pegleg trying to move himself up into the 9th position. Well, now Kinder's got a mirror full of Drabik. As Drabik was just on the back bumper a moment ago. And Jamie Mullins in the picture here as well. So all three drivers. All three drivers up into the mix here. It's a battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th between these three drivers. While this battle's going on, there's also a little battle heating up here between Jonah Colbert and Daniel Cunningham. Oh, see the 114 of Travis Bieber coming down pit road. Not sure if that's a scheduled pit stop. So Eddie Smith continuing the lead as Drabik continues to run down the 13 of Garrett Kinder. So Kinder, who looked like he was going to dominate this race, staying up front for the first half of the race, falling back into the 4th position and in danger of losing that 4th position and even more to Drabik and Mullins. As Drabik was just looking up to the high side. Garrett Kinder not able to make anything happen just yet, but taking a look up there as Kinder continues to guard down to that lower side. Drabik looks like he's able to get into the corner a little bit better than Kinder is, but Kinder's able to get off the corner just a tick better as well. So these two kind of trading different parts of the corner here, and I think that's due to in part of Kinder taking a little more defensive line into the corner. As the laps are winding down, Eddie Smith just coming off of turn number 2. We're coming down to just 25 laps to go here at New Hampshire. You see it there, 26 to go. Cunningham still trying to run down the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Peg Leg Phelps now trying to take the 8th position away from Adam Lang. So Peg Leg having a great run here in the late part of the race as well. As he looks down underneath the 59 machine. While that's going on, Drabick is there. Looked like Drabick was just almost side by side as Kinder really loose off of turn number 2. As Drabick is still trying to get around the 13 of Garrett Kinder, and Kinder just getting loose. That car continues to get looser and looser lap after lap. See, Drabick now starting to run that little bit of a diamond off the corner. Trying to get some momentum and some speed. Using that little bit of banking that they do have here. Now Drabick looking down to the inside. Not quite able to get there just yet. Drabick gets loose off of turn number 2 that time. And you can hear Kinder just struggling to get that power down. As these tires continue to wear out. Less grip in the tires. Really thought Drabick was going to try to take another shot here at the 13 as see Drabick way down on the low side, able to continue to roll that low side. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 13 of Kinder. We have just 21 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Oh, another big wiggle out of Garrett Kinder. Almost smacks the wall. Able to hold momentum, though. Now Kinder running that little bit lower line to defend. This Peg Leg Phelps is almost clear of Adam Lang trying to take over that position, but here's Drabick just looking down to the inside, not able to get the power down to get underneath Garrett Kinder. And now Drabick is there underneath there, side by side for the 4th position. You see Kinder loose again off of turn number 2. We saw that earlier, where he got loose and almost got into the side of McElwain, as Drabick is going to finally take over that 4th position from Garrett Kinder. Just behind, we see Jamie Mullins, and that's the 114 of Travis Bieber. Travis on new tires, so you can see just how much faster those newer tires are working for him. Now Drabick starting to pull away from Kinder. But is there going to be enough time for him to run down Jonah Colbert and Daniel Cunningham? As those two just in front are still battling it out, as Eddie Smith continues to work his way through traffic. Has a 2-second lead over Jonah Colbert. Just in front of Jonah, you see the 48, Jason Lotridge. I believe that's the 99 of Brandon Wallace right there as well. As now Cunningham looking up to the high side. Gets a good run off that corner. Colbert down to the bottom. Cunningham's going to run the middle here. Lap traffic saying up out of the way. And Cunningham's just looking for a break here. Looking for the lap traffic to kind of hold Jonah up a little bit here so he can try to get a run at that 31 machine. As we have just 15 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Cedra Bick right now pulling away from Garrett Kinder by a second and a half now. And Drabick is the fastest car on the track right now as he's working around lap traffic. Although he's got Travis Bieber right behind him. And he's cut down to about a second behind Daniel Cunningham now. So as these two are coming off of turn number, you can see just how close he's gotten to these two in front of him. As the 5 of Andy Kurt stays up out of the way. Cunningham actually fallen off of Colbert now by just a little bit. And Drabick right there trying to march his way forward. Now Garrett Kinder back in the 5th position. Jamie Mullins not too far behind. You see Jamie Mullins working underneath Jason Lotridge here. And Mullins trying to make himself up into the top 5 here. Try to play spoiler to Garrett Kinder, trying to gain some ground up on our leaders, our points leaders. Back up front, Jonah Colbert has a mirror full of Cunningham again. Cunningham's able to get back into that lead. When we cross the line this time, we'll have just 10 laps to go. Is Cunningham going to try to make a last-ditch effort here to try to take that 2nd position away? You see him using the apron now to help get that car to turn. Further back, we see the 04 of Michael Kosick now looking underneath the 53 of Jamie Mullins. So Kosick showing a little bit of speed here in the late runnings of this race. As Kosick is trying to get around Jamie Mullins to take over that 6th position. Mullins able to stay out in front. And Cossack again pushes the issue here hard into the corner, but just not able to get alongside Jay Mullins. Now they're going to be side by side off of turn number 4. As they make their way down the front stretch and into turn number 1, can Cossack outbrake Mullins here to take over that 6th position? And he will. So move the 04 up into the 6th position. We see Andy Kurtz getting down out of the way. And don't look now, but Daniel Cunningham was just on the back bumper of the 31 of Colbert. Now Cunningham trying to look down to the inside of the 31. Not there yet, but with 6 laps to go. We see him again using that apron to keep that car turning. Is he going to be able to use the 64 of Matt Knight as a pick here? Five laps to go. Eddie Smith's lead over 3 seconds over second place, but the battle right now is for second place between Jonah Colbert and Daniel Cunningham. Oh, Matt Knight. Caution! We got caution on the track. The lap car of Matt Knight's getting in the way as Jonah Colbert was trying to go down to the inside. Matt moved down to the inside to try to get out of the way. They make contact. That's going to bring up your Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. And we see the 64 of Matt Knight. He's given enough room up to the high side, and Jonah goes down to the low side. I think there's just a little miscommunication, or didn't really know what was going on between those two drivers. They make hard contact. You see Matt Knight get turned around in front of Travis Bieber, and that's what brings out the caution. So tough break as we see Jonah Colbert coming down on the pit road to get his damage fixed. As we're going to have a green-white checker. This is going to change everything up at the front. This is going to erase Eddie Smith's big lead. This is going to bring Garrett Kinder back up into the mix. It's going to bring in Michael Cossack, who we saw showing some speed there towards the end. Heck, even Pegleg Feltz back in 6th, showing some speed there on that last run, end of the run as well. So the big question is anybody going to have anything for Eddie Smith? Again, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, one of my favorite tracks. It's my home track personally. I live just a few hours from the track. It's always a great show whenever you show up here at New Hampshire. A great crowd. Not a bad seat in the house in this place as well, especially if you're camping up on the hill where you see these drivers going by right now. This is the backside of the track is the hill that brings you up to the road course. A lot of camping can be done up there. Some great seats on the hill to watch the race. I've sat on the front stretch at the line. I've sat in turn 1. I've sat at the top of the grandstands entering turn 1. I've walked around this track with a hot pass. And there is not a bad seat in the house here at New Hampshire. So if you ever get a chance to check out this track, it is definitely a track that's worth the visit for sure. Here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, refire them. Eddie Smith takes the inside. Daniel Cunningham to the outside. Drabick in third on the inside. Garrett Kinder on the outside. We see Pegleg back in that 5th position, choosing the inside lane. Kosick choosing the outside lane. So a little bit of strategy here. We'll have to see if Pegleg is able to use those tires that he's kind of been saving this run to challenge here. But as they come off of turn number 3, or into turn number 3, we're getting ready to see that pace car take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Eddie Smith immediately to the gas. Green flag back in the air. We are back racing here at New Hampshire. Garrett Kinder up on that high side trying to get around Drabick. Look at the mess back here. Jonah Colbert takes him 4 wide through turns 1 and 2. Able to make it stick. Move Jonah Colbert up into the 5th position. We see McElwain as well. Now they're going to be 3 wide with Garrett Kinder. Look at the run that Colbert has as the white flag is in the air. Colbert up into the 3rd position. He's looking down to the inside of Cunningham. And Jonah Colbert with an opportunity to get the win here on those first rounds. Oh, they're wrecking behind Brandon Wallace down into the infield as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Can Colbert make those fresh tires work here as they're coming off of turn number 4? Colbert looks to the high side to Eddie Smith. Down the front stretch they come, and at the line, Jonah Colbert's going to win here at New Hampshire. Eddie Smith, who dominated the second part of this race, going to come home second. Daniel Cunningham back in 3rd. Wow. Colbert up on his roof. Not going to be able to celebrate here with any donuts. He's doing donuts with the help of the rest of the field. Let's take a look at that restart that Jonah Colbert had. Again, from the blimp here as they make their way down into turn 1. They were 4 wide at one point. You see McElwain all the way on the bottom. Wow, what a finish here. Incredible. And Jonah Colbert on those fresh tires just making it look like child's play. And Jonah Colbert gets the win. Let's take a look at our results as we see Garrett Kinder and Jonah Colbert continuing to have a little fun here after the race. And again, Jonah Colbert, your winner. Eddie Smith comes home 2nd. Dale Cunningham in 3rd. Cody McElwain in the 4th position. And Patrick Drabick in 5th. Josh Oswald comes home in 6th. Garrett Kinder falls back into 7th. Michael Kosick, Chuck Pegleg Feltz, and Jamie Mullins round out your top 10. Then Travis Bieber in 11th. Charles Stevens Jr. in 12th. Greg Barnett, Adam Lang, and Jason Lottridge make up your top 15. 16th, Andy Kurtz. 17th, Matt Knights. 18th, Brandon Wallace and Mike Bertosa Jr. round out your field here at New Hampshire. And, man, just a wild, wild finish here tonight. A race that showed almost, looks like it was going to go green flag from start to finish. We ended up getting caught up in a couple wrecks late in the race. Jonah Colbert gets pretty much taken out by a lap car. And that ended up being his saving grace there, as he was able to come down pit road, get fresh tires, and get the win. And we're going to get into our post-race interviews brought to you by Shappy Edits. And let's bring in our third place finisher, the driver of the 54 machine, Daniel Cunningham. Daniel, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Man, great run there tonight. Looked like you might have had something there towards the end. You and Jonah Colbert were battling there before that caution came out. You actually had a front row seat for that, and ended up being Jonah's saving grace. But still third place finish is a pretty good finish here tonight. How did the strategy work for you tonight, as the race tended to be a long green flag run?
Yeah, I just tried to really keep that in the back of my mind. That was really the biggest thing that I worked on in practice and even leading up to the week, was just trying to make sure I take care of it on longer runs. I know the top side seemed to be a little bit faster on short runs. It seemed like you could save a little bit more tire down on the bottom lanes and trying to diamond it a little bit. So really just trying to keep that in mind and try to have a little bit of something on the long run for everyone.
For sure. And at the end of the run there, before that yellow came out, you were starting to use the apron to help get the car to turn. Was the car just that tight where running down on the flat was helping that car get around the corner?
It definitely was a little bit tight trying to roll the center, and especially on exit, it seemed like it didn't want to rotate at all, trying to get back in the throttle. And especially with even the bottom groove above the apron having less banking than the rest of the track, definitely was able to try to use that a little bit to get the car to turn a little bit better.
Well, great job coming home in third place tonight. Before I let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast. I would say thanks to the admins, but that's me and Jonah, so I don't want to pat myself on the back. It was just really cool tonight to see JC Motorsports sweep the podium. So, shout out to Jonah and Eddie. They both had a great race, and fun running around those guys up there.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon as the season goes on.
Thank you, sir.
That was your third place finisher, Daniel Cunningham. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Eddie Smith. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
What's going on, Josh?
Man, what a wild race there. I know you're a little disappointed. You dominated the second half of the race. The caution comes out. Jonah on fresh tires gets around you like you were, driving backwards on the track, but still can't be that disappointed as you led so many laps and dominated most of the race, especially starting from the back.
Yeah, it was a good race. Glad to have 1, 2, 3 JC Motorsports.
And driving through the field there, that was impressive, especially starting in the back and able to manage your tires and still show some speed at the end of that first run. What was the secret to saving the tires there?
Just not overdriving it, just taking it easy. Whenever you're just trying to be patient in the back, it helps you just naturally save tires. You get out front or get up towards the front, that's when you start trying to run harder than you need to. So just by being back there and taking time and working around guys, that's where you save your tires.
That's for sure. Well, again, I know it's not the finish that you were looking for as you dominated that second part of the race, but before I let you go, anybody you want to shout out, anything you want to give here tonight?
Yeah, just want to say congrats to Jonah. Good win. It was fun racing everybody. Sorry that Cody got a speeding penalty, I think. Hated we couldn't race around him, but like I said, good race all around for JC Motorsports. So.
Oh, well, congrats again, Eddie, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. See ya.
That was your second place finisher, Eddie Smith. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Jonah Colbert. Jonah, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, how's it going, Josh?
Man, we just spoke to who sounded like the most dejected man to probably the happiest man to see that caution come out at the end. I know being involved in it was not what you were hoping for, but it ended up being your saving grace there at the end. First off, was that just a little miscommunication between you and Matt Knights, or you did just not know where he was going there at the end?
Yeah, we just weren't communicating. It's probably just as much my fault as his. We, how it is sometimes the lap car's trying to stay out of the way, and it's kind of like when two people are walking down a hallway together in opposite directions, and you both go left and you both go right. It's kind of one of them deals. He was trying to go left, I was trying to go left, and then we got mixed up. No big deal. It happens, and like you said, it ended up working out for me because I actually had to pick because I had a meatball and that right front was caved in. It wouldn't even turn under caution, so I had to come in and get my damage fixed. I figured I might as well take tires. And that point, I was just hoping to get a top 5. I didn't really realize the tires made that big of a difference. Once I saw how big of a run I was getting through the corners, I figured I'd go ahead and shoot for the stars, and it stuck. So, total luck.
Speaking of making it stick, how about that restart? That was wild. You were, I don't know if you realize this or not, but you guys were 4 wide through turns 1 and 2 on that restart.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you go
I
back
knew we
and
went 3 wide, but I didn't know it was 4.
Yeah,
So.
it was Michelin actually was down on the apron. Then there was Peg Leg. It was you. And I think it was Cossack on the outside of you. So yeah, you guys were 4 wide through the corner, able to make it stick. And man, those tires really did pay off there at the end for you.
Yeah, like I said, it's total luck. Eddie was super fast, and he was pulling away. And I was going to get passed by Daniel there before the race was over because he was faster through the middle of the corner. And we were just trying to race out and have fun. And then, just got untimely mix up. And it's weird how stuff like that sometimes works out in your favor. So just total luck. But hats off to Eddie for running a hell of a race because he was super fast, man.
For sure. And you just proved my point from the pre-race when I said that the tires are going to make such a difference as this track is so abrasive and wears the tires down. And, well, you kind of showed that there at the end. So congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Just thanks, guys. There, JC Motorsports, Eddie Smith, and Daniel Cunningham for racing with me and just having lots of fun working together. It's always a blast racing with them, and apologize to Eddie for getting that. I don't know. It just feels weird to win like that because it was total luck. I wasn't faster than him at all. That was his win. It got stolen from him, so I kind of feel bad.
For sure, and that's why he felt as dejected as he did there at the end. But, congratulations on the win to you.
Thanks, man.
So there you have it. That was Jonah Colbert, your winner here tonight in the Xtreme Xfinity Series. Next week, we move on to Auto Club Speedway. So you don't want to miss that one. These cars always put on a good show at Auto Club. Again, we want to thank everybody who makes this series possible. First and foremost, our series sponsor, Goat Locker Racing, Big Fish Motorsports, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Shappy Edit, Smeal Racing Design, Magic Mike Motorsports, Seth Griffith, Pegleg Felt, P&J Motorsports, Reaper Racing, Jason Reisman Insurance, Flexible Freight Solutions, Mesa Motorsports, and JC Motorsports, all the sponsors that help out and make these races possible here for you guys' enjoyment. Again, thank you for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting for the Xtreme Xfinity Series. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help us out quite a bit. As Alex Veet said, the only person to say anything in the chat tonight, holy hell, what a finish. And it was exactly that, a crazy finish. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the Send It Cup Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. And don't forget to check out the Original Rebels website. You can find that at the link below at orrleague.com. Also want to shout out simracerhub.com, where you can find all your points, stats, and standings for all your favorite iRacing leagues, including the Original Rebels Racing League and some of the other leagues that we have here on Intensity Broadcasting, such as the SCSRA, Doghouse Racing League, Extreme Forces Racing League. So check that out. That is simracerhub.com. And don't forget to check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com. Again, my name is Josh Hall. Thanks for joining us here on iRacing, Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the Xtreme Xfinity Series, brought to you by Goat Locker. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.